This is the definition of just taking care of business for the Toronto Blue Jays, as in Game 2 of the 3-game set against the Kansas City Royals. They won Game 1 8-0 yesterday in that rain delay or weather delay or whatever you want to call it. And they go out there tonight with Alek Manoah on the hill. And we all had the confidence in the world in this game. But then the Jays go out and they win 7-0. They've outscored the Royals 15-0 in the first 2 games of this series. And with the win, I believe the Jays are now 11 games over 500 at 33-22 for the first time this year. So that is great news. The boys kind of cracked that number. And they just played good baseball against a team that you're supposed to demolish. They are not a good ball team, or the Kansas City Royals. And if you're the Blue Jays, a contending squad, you got to go out there every day and you got to lay a beat down on those teams. And they have the first 2 games. But let's talk about this ball game, all right? You could tell early on, Alek Manoah didn't have his best stuff, right? Because in the first inning, you saw a lot of, he's firing a pitch and he's turning around looking out to center field. Like, that's not where I want that. Figure it out. And you know what Alek Manoah is going to do, though. He'll battle, and he may not have his best stuff, and he didn't tonight. But he will find a way to grind through an outing, and he went 6 shutout innings. It's wild. Albeit not against a very good lineup, but went out there and did what he had to do to put his team give his team a chance to win, and that's all what you ask of Alek Manoah. Now, top of the second inning, right? Alejandro Kirk gets a base hit, 1 of 4 hits for the big guy. But we'll talk about that later on. Then Santiago Espinal gets a hit. We're like, all right, got a couple base runners. Then Matt Chapman comes up, and he dumps one in the left field for a base hit. Both runners score. Chapman slides into second with a 2-run double, and the Jays lead it 2-0 in the top half of the second. Great stuff. Now, offense kind of dries up there, but it's weird. With Alek Manoah on the hill, even without his best stuff, to me, it felt like there was no worry in the world that the Jays were going to lock this game down. It's just a matter of how many runs they were going to score. And it's crazy to think that in a 2-0 ball game on the road, but you're playing a Kansas City squad, and you have one of the best pitchers in all of baseball on the hill in Alek Manoah. So, hey, I'm not worried. But then they get to the top of the 7th inning, and they start to break things wide open. They start to have some really good at-bats with Santiago Espinal on base. Raimel Tapia rips an RBI double. He comes in to score, does an SB, and it's now a 3-0 game for the Blue Jays. A few batters later, Jays get the bases loaded, less than 2 out. Bo Bichette then walks. 1 of 3 walks for Bo in the game. Tapia comes in to score. And then Bradley Zimmer scores in a wild pitch. There's another run, and it's 5-0 Blue Jays just like that. But you think they're done, right? 5-0 in the 7th, kind of take the foot off the gas, take dudes out of the game. Nah, it's not over yet. And the boys go out there in the top of the 9th inning, and Bo gets on. Vladdy has, I think it was like an 0-2 pitch, works it for a walk. He ended up going 0-4 in the game, but he did have that really nice at-bat in the 9th inning. But again, still not where he wants to be. And Teoscar Hernandez rips one. A 2-run double. Teo rips it, Vladdy scores, Bo scores, and the Jays lead it 7-0. It's crazy. The Jays score 7 runs today, having not hit a home run. They have 3 doubles, 2 2-run doubles, and then a bases loaded walk and a wild pitch. Do it without the long ball. You love to see it from the Toronto Blue Jays today. Look, they had 12 hits in the game. They struck out only 6 times. They walked 6 times. They walked as many times as they struck out today. They were fantastic. And they just went out there against a team that they're supposed to demolish, and they did. They're taking care of business. You got to play that song in your head because it's what they're going out there and doing. They're going out there with their hard hat on and going to work, as they're supposed to. Tomorrow, it's an afternoon game. They'll go out there, hard hat on, ready to go. All right, let's talk about some individuals, though, because there were some really nice individual performances. Bo Bichette went 2 for 2, and you're thinking, well, they scored 7 runs, they had 12 hits. How is Buddy only having 2 at-bats? Because he walked 3 times. Bo did not get out, well, at least when he was at the plate. I believe Vladdy bounced into a couple double plays, but Bo got on base every time he came to the plate. He had 2 knocks, scoring a run, having an RBI, and also walking 3 times. Bo Bichette, you can clearly see is starting to get locked in, right? Hitting the long ball yesterday. I believe he went 2 for 5 yesterday. I could be wrong about that. But and then he goes perfect today. Great stuff from him. Alejandro Kirk. This guy has a batting average of over 320. His OBP, on base percentage, is over 400. And that OPS is just climbing. I mean, at some point, we got to really start talking about this guy making the All-Star team. Nobody can sit here and tell me that there's been a better offensive catcher than Alejandro Kirk. Yeah, defensively, you're going to have some pretty good catchers. But are you going to send a really good defensive Yasmani Grandal to the All-Star game? No, he's batting $150. Who the hell? You're not going to send him. Albeit Mike Zunino went last year to the All-Star game and he was batting under 200. But who was better than him? Nobody. Alejandro Kirk, I'm going to say 5'8", maybe a little bit taller than that. But a chunky boy behind the plate who doesn't strike out, who's batting 300, gets on base a ton. It's incredible. He was 4 for 5 today with a run scored. They can't get him out. Albeit, again, you're not playing a great team. But he's going out there, especially after hearing the troubling news about Danny Jansen and fracturing something in his left hand, and he's going to be out for a little while. So Kirk, and they bring up Zach Collins, Kirk's going to get a brunt of the work. And he goes out there in day one of that, and he goes 4 for 5, albeit he was catching the boy Alek Manoah, which he always does, Jansen or not. So that really doesn't change anything. It's just going to be very interesting to now see how they work, how the workload goes with Kirk and Zach Collins. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they play it out. Another guy who's been, I wouldn't say definitely a pleasant surprise this season, but we've gotten used to seeing it now, Santiago Espinal. This guy is an absolute machine. Him and Alejandro Kirk, two guys coming into the season that we didn't know what their future held. Santiago Espinal going into spring training was battling for his job with Kevin Biggio. We all talked about, well, maybe they'll platoon at second base. Well, that changed pretty damn quick because Biggio started off horrendously, then got hurt. And then Espinal's like, I'm just not going to get out. I'm going to get clutch knocks, even when this team can't hit a damn thing with runners in scoring position. And now we can't get out again. Meanwhile, Alejandro Kirk, all the talk was, oh, Jose Ramirez firing Alejandro Kirk in that trade, blah, blah, blah. Now, he's hitting 320 with a base of 400. And everyone's like, no, you can't move Kirk. It's just incredible. It's incredible what a baseball season can do for a player. And these two guys especially have broken out when guys like Vladdy and Bo haven't really had the massive season as they did last year, at least as of right now in the early goings of June. All right, like I said earlier, 12 hits for the team, 6 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Let's get to the pitching staff. All right, Alek Manoah, as I mentioned, didn't have his best start out there. However, did go 6 innings, only allowing 6 hits, struck out 4, and walked 3. So walking 3, not the greatest. Again, didn't have the control, didn't have the bite in the slider, wasn't throwing strikes with it either. And only struck out 4 dudes in the game. But again, battled through it. And that is what Alek Manoah, that's what great pitchers find a way to do. Is when they don't have their quality stuff, their best stuff, they find a way to grind through outings. And that's what Alek did, and it was still 6 shutout innings, albeit against a very bad offensive team. Then the bullpen goes out there. And obviously you haven't seen a lot of these key guys lately, whether you've been blown out or you've been blowing teams out. You haven't been seeing a lot of these dudes out there. And in a 7-0 game, you got to start using some of them, right? Especially with an off day looming on Thursday. So Jimmy Garcia goes out there. He throws a clean inning of work. Albeit that was, when it was 5-0. So he still wanted to lock this game down a little bit. And then David Phelps goes a clean inning. No hits, no walks, couple strikeouts. And then Jordan Romano goes out there for the 9th. And I swear, if I see one Jordan Romano, Charlie's an idiot, why would you throw him out? If I start seeing any of that nonsense, then clearly you don't know baseball at all. Because the man hasn't thrown in a week. Yes, I understand Romano has threw a lot before, and I get that. But if you go more than a week as a reliever without pitching, that's a problem. And the reason that he did it, you obviously had the lead, right? And he hasn't worked in a while, so you give him some work. And hey, the question always is, well, what do you do if you get him tomorrow? Well, that's fine. Put him out there again tomorrow, and you have the Thursday off day. So he'll have that rest day no matter what. That's why they were totally fine with putting him out there in a game like this. That's why you didn't see any of those big guys yesterday. You see more of them today. And if you see a blowout game tomorrow, don't be surprised if you see an Adam Simber go out there or any of the other high leverage guys the Jays have, right? Don't be surprised because, again, with the off day the next day, they have time to rest, okay? And Romano went a clean inning of work, walked one guy, but got a strikeout and clean job there for him. And the Blue Jays win it 7-0 over the Royals as they were supposed to do. Now, the finale of this series, I believe, is going to be broadcasted on YouTube on this beautiful application that I'm posting to every day for you guys. 2 p.m. I guess 2:10 first pitch at Kauffman Stadium. The finale of the 3-game set against the Royals. We all know what we want to do, and we all know what we should see tomorrow after the game. It involves a cleaning supply. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm hoping to bring that thing out for you guys. I really, really am. Yusei Kikuchi gets the ball for the Blue Jays versus Brady Singer. That's the pitching matchup in the finale tomorrow afternoon at Kauffman Stadium. The Jays looking for win number 3 in a row and win number 3 of 3 in the series, all right? So you know what, guys? That is into it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game this evening, smack that like button if you appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video. Thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? The Twitter link is down below, so follow, send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, obviously, Jays edition, tomorrow afternoon. Jays, Royals, the finale of the 3-game set at Kauffman Stadium. Yusei Kikuchi gets the ball for the Jays. Brady Singer gets the ball for the Royals, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely the ball game tonight, because when you can kick your feet up, have a beverage, and not worry a damn thing about a game because you know the Jays are going to kick teeth in, you love to see it, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.